Am I the only one that is tired of the COVID hysteria? Am I the only one tired of people making a big deal about masking, social distancing, vaccines, lockdowns? Wednesday in Australia, I believe it was in New South Wales, they had one new case of the COVID. One. They decided to lock down the entire city over one new case. I'm not anti vaccine. If you feel the vaccine will help you, by all means, go get it. The vaccine does help. They've proven it helps. Most people in my family are vaccinated. I'm one of the only ones that's not, but I've already had the COVID. I don't need the vaccine right now. I'm not a COVID denier. I think people should take it seriously, especially if you're older or if you have other health conditions. My problem when it comes to COVID is the lies and the manipulation and the misinformation that the media and politicians put out to scare people. And my biggest problem is the silencing of free speech. The far left is using the COVID just like they used racism and social justice last summer to silence free speech. We saw another example of it this week when the Cubs released Jake Arrieta. Now don't get it twisted. Jake Arrieta was god-awful this year. The Cubs re-signed him during the offseason, hoping that he would closely or come close to resembling the Jake Arrieta of 2015-2016. They got him for cheap, only paid him $6 million for 1 year. When they released him on Wednesday night, or maybe it was Thursday morning, they had plenty of baseball reasons to do so. Baseball reasons. I'm stressing that point for a reason. The Cubs had plenty of baseball reasons to cut Jake Arrieta. His 5-11 record, or the fact that he gave up damn near 7 runs a game. He's not pitching deep into his starts because he's getting rocked. Games out of control by the 4th or 5th inning. This has been the worst season of his career. He's 35 years old. His baseball career is essentially over. That's all that needed to be said about it. Nothing more, nothing less. If this same situation happened 2 years ago, the reasons that I just gave you are what the media would report. But this is 2021. If anything happens in sports, it must be politicized. Headline at USA Today: Cubs release Jake Arrieta after he told a reporter to take his mask off during conference. Headline at Clutch Points: Jake Arrieta, in the middle of Delta variant, wants reporter to remove mask. The audacity of this man! How dare he politely ask a reporter to take off his mask? NBC called it an ugly, disrespectful moment. 670 The Score in Chicago tweeted out, Jake Arrieta was a surly, selfish, science-denying tool in requesting a reporter should take his mask off. How in the hell is Jake Arrieta a science-denying tool for asking a reporter to take his mask off? Somebody please explain that to me. Maybe he was having trouble hearing him. Have you ever tried speaking to someone wearing a damn mask? It's painful. I listened to the exchange between Jake Arrieta and this reporter, Bruce Levine. There was no animosity. There wasn't any heated words. Bruce Levine asked a question. The clip I found from USA Today, it cut off the first part of the question, but it sounded to me like Bruce Levine was asking something related to Jake Arrieta's stance on the COVID and how it impacted his ability to lead this young Cubs roster. He has been vocal in his resistance to take the vaccine. He's uncomfortable with it because he says the knowledge with the vaccine's unsettled. He said the science is basically changing every day. Jake Arrieta is uncomfortable with the vaccine because there's so much misinformation out there about it. That's his personal choice. If he feels that way, that's how he feels. And who can blame him for feeling that way? How many times has Anthony Fauci contradicted himself? The woke media right now, they are blasting South Dakota for having the audacity to allow the Sturgis motorcycle rally to take place. We're in the middle of a pandemic. This is dangerous. Okay. But it wasn't dangerous to have hundreds of thousands of people at Lollapalooza in Chicago a couple of weekends ago. That was okay. It wasn't dangerous to have all those unmasked people at Barack Obama's birthday party last weekend. Oh, that was just safe. That was fine. But if bikers want to have a weekend-long party in South Dakota, it's a super spreader event. Now, to be fair and transparent, I thought Bruce Levine was clearly audible in that Zoom conference with Jake Arrieta. But that's beside the point. Why is he wearing a mask on a Zoom conference? That is nothing but a virtue signal. Look at me. I get it. I'm woke. I'm one of the sophisticated people. Please accept me into your club. If I were Jake Arrieta, I would have asked the same thing. Matter of fact, I would have asked Bruce Levine, what the hell are you doing wearing a mask? You're alone. There's not another breathing organism in the room with you. I think you're safe, dude. You don't have to worry about getting the COVID sitting in a room by yourself. I'm disappointed in the Chicago Cubs. I really am. I'm not surprised by what they did, but I am disappointed. Can we please have one team or one sports league or more athletes stand up against this lunacy? Like I said earlier, the Cubs had every valid reason to release Jake Arrieta based off of his performance on the field. They released him because they didn't want to deal with the woke media pressure. They knew the media was going to politicize his comments at that Zoom conference, which is exactly what they did anyway, but the difference is they're not going after the Chicago Cubs because they did the right thing. They released this anti-science fool. We are living in times where having a different opinion is against social law. The Cubs have been dealing with the media all season with Jake Arrieta. They finally folded to the pressure. And this is going to continue to happen until more and more people and teams stand up. The media is powerless unless you give them power. Jed Hoyer, president of baseball operations for the Cubs, he tried to keep the reason for Jake Arrieta's release strictly to baseball, but everyone knows what this really is. The Cubs are bowing to the woke agenda. Go ahead, read articles on Jake Arrieta. The disdain will bleed through your screen, all because he questions the COVID vaccine. They used to challenge kids in school to question everything. Now, they are telling you, they are demanding that you question nothing. Trust in politicians and the media is at all-time record lows. The media, they are actively trying to ruin Jake Arrieta's legacy in Chicago, a guy who was instrumental in that 2016 World Series run, the Cubs' first World Series in over 100 years. It was Major League Baseball's highest ratings in decades. All the media wants you to remember about Jake Arrieta is that he's unvaccinated. Who gives a damn? He shouldn't be demonized for his own health decisions. I don't understand why people with vaccines are so worried about the unvaccinated. If you had the vaccine, you're safe, right? So why the hell are you worried about everyone else? The Pac-12 has taken a page out of the NFL notebook, and they're going to force teams with COVID outbreaks to forfeit games. They just announced it yesterday. NFL, of course, is doing the same. Both are being used to further an agenda. This is not about the health and safety of the players. This is about keeping the country divided. People got sick of hearing the constant talk of racism and social justice. So how else could they keep us divided? Well, you divide everyone into two categories, the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. It's funny how last year when Donald Trump was in office, all these wokers were dead set against the vaccine. The vaccine was so dangerous, they rushed it. It didn't have enough time to go through clinical trials. Now all of a sudden, the vaccine's safe. It's proven effective. Chris Corman at USA Today, headline of his article, athletes who claim vaccine is their personal choice are doing so much harm. How? How are they causing harm? They're causing potential harm to their team, but that's the NFL's fault. Cole Beasley didn't write the ridiculous COVID policy. That was Roger Goodell. This is all a tool used to keep us divided, and they're using sports to do it. This is why politics have no place in the world of sports. They should keep it out. All right, time to let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts on the Cubs releasing Jake Arrieta. Did they bow to media pressure? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.